Hey!
Whoa!
Hello! Back.
Oh, we're on the small one again, I just realized.
Back from Tallahassee.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
one and only Drew Hicken.
I am back.
Took him a while. It was a long drive from Tally. Usually it's about 2.5 hours. Took him upwards of 6 hours as he was dragging a large heavyweight L behind his car. And it was
Oh
it
my
really
God.
slowed things down. It was like a big anchor.
Uh,
Drew, as always, after drill brought to you by our friends at the UPS store in Ponte Vedra Beach.
that's right, located at 830 A1A North in Tournament Plaza, locally owned and operated by our friends the Duncans, serving the community for the last 25 years. All your printing needs, whether it be business cards, yard signs, planners, brochures, you name it, they got you over there. At the UPS store in the Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida area, you can reach them at 904-285-2345. That's 904-285-2345.
Hi, Casey.
What's up, Casey?
So, Drew,
Yeah.
now that you've had a day to process,
Sure.
you're kind of our resident Knoll guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your kind of, it seems like with FSU fans, some are saying, all right, hold on, let's chill. Vatek's a pretty decent team. This isn't, the sky isn't falling, and other are in a bit of a panic. So where's your panic meter?
The sky is not falling.
Okay.
I was never in the camp of we're gonna go into that game and thump Vatek. That's how a lot of people felt.
I felt like there was some swagger going into it.
There was some swagger, but swagger doesn't win games. You look at coaches. I was looking at this stat the other day that all these big time coaches, their first time at their new school against an FBS opponent, they basically all got swamped.
It was just...
Jimbo lost 47-17 to Oklahoma his first game at FSU, and he scored late. It was like 47-10. Saban, when he was at Michigan State, everyone's gotten thumped. Basically, their first game against an FBS opponent. Now, that game was just, it was a disaster. You had 250 yards of total offense in the first half, and you had 3 points. You dropped a touchdown. You had a touchdown that you looked like you scored, but you rushed to the line to snap to not let them review. You fumbled on the first drive of the game. You got a punt blocked. You started like 5 straight drives inside your own 10-yard line in the third
That's
quarter.
not good. That's not great.
And then what really took the cake, after all that, by the way, it's still 17-3, and you got the ball on the 5, first and goal in the fourth quarter with like 10 minutes to go. It's now 3rd and goal from the 10. You take a timeout because you want to get the right play. I'm cool with that. Probably a good call. The game's kind of on the line here. We trot out a wildcat triple option formation from the 10, and we fumble. Virginia Tech also, by the way, lost 6 fumbles that game and recovered every single one of them. So,
yeah.
Just about everything that could have gone wrong did. The last touchdown meant nothing to me. The defense had clearly, they had 9 straight drives and given up no points. What else are they supposed to do? The game was over, so I get them kind of giving up.
It was rough. It was a fairly one-sided affair. And look, Virginia Tech is a pretty good team. Look at this week's AP rankings. Granted, we always talk about the AP rankings. Ultimately, don't mean anything.
You want me to? Virginia Tech is going to be no bet. Their best case, they're like a 9-3 football team. They're like 9-3, 8-4.
Which if we're being realistic, probably FSU's in about the same boat.
I think that's a 7-5. I said that before. I said I think you beat Vatek, you're looking at 8-4, 9-3. You lose that game, now all of a sudden you look at the rest of that schedule. You're going to probably lose the games you're supposed to lose, the Clemsons. I don't know if you can say Miami looked horrible too, but there's still a lot of talent there. You're going to Notre Dame, who looked pretty good. You got to go to NC State, to Boston College. You're going to drop one.
Northern Illinois.
You got to host Northern Illinois. You're going to drop one of those games you're not supposed to. You're probably going to lose the game. I'm thinking Florida State's probably a 7-5 football team. But again, what people are forgetting here is that shouldn't be very shocking. They went to the Independence Bowl last year. It's not like Willie Taggart inherited this playoff team.
No, he's got work to do.
There's going to be some growing pains. And I think there's definitely a gripe to be had about some of the play calls and some of the stuff that was going on in the red zone. You had 4 trips to the red zone and no points.
Right.
So
that's not good. You can't.
That's
not going to get it done against a top 20 team.
Growing pains or not, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done against any kind of competition.
The offensive line, granted, it was not good going into the game. Then they had Cole Minshew couldn't play. Landon Dickerson gets hurt. So then you're down another 2 linemen of your already putrid offensive line. And then they got mauled. And then Virginia Tech decided they were going to fake 27 injuries.
Yeah.
Which really, again, let me reiterate this. It's Bush League. It's weak. It drives me nuts, but it's within the rules. You can do it. It's annoying as hell.
The
But
phantom injuries, the falls.
you can't, and people say, well, why don't they make it a personal foul? Because how are you going to really tell
How
if
do
a
you
kid's
tell?
hurt or not?
Right.
Unless you're just watching them at all times. You can't do
Yeah,
it.
you can't.
So if a kid goes down, it goes down. It's part of the rules. You can do it. But again, it's incredibly weak. But some would say it's smart because honestly,
anytime FSU got any kind of momentum, man.
I mean, because Taggart is all about, he
tempo.
wants to go quick. And I mean, every time there was any kind of a big chunk play or Florida State rattled off 2 plays or so, I mean, they'd go down. I haven't watched, I think they showed it on TV from what I've been told, because I was at the game, I didn't see. But I was told they even showed it, because you could see it they were playing it on the Jumbotron in the game. The kid basically just walking around.
And
then
then
he
just
looked.
goes down.
He looked to the sideline and then looked like he just got shot in the leg.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so annoying, man.
It was something.
But they won, so it's like it's worth it, right? I mean, they won.
Right. They won the game. They jumped up, I think, 8 spots in the rankings this week.
Yeah, they're 12th or something like that.
Yeah, they jumped up big time, and
we are out.
You jumped up big time as well.
Yeah.
The Knowles are out. I believe they came. Did they fall out or they just fell?
No, they're 22.
22. The Gators into the top 25 now. So
listen, Florida fans. I'm sure there's
here it
maybe
comes.
1 or 2 of you watching.
Here it comes.
I got Florida fans all tweeting at me. I don't want to hear. I had one guy say, "I don't want to hear another thing. I don't want to hear another thing from a Florida State guy for the rest of the season."
State champs.
Like, you played the deaf and blind at home. Felipe Franks threw 5 touchdowns. You guys are telling me you believe in Felipe now? That team was horrible. Let's see what happens. Well, let's not forget, by the way, Florida, we still play each other at the end of the year. So, I mean, you could hold that Charlie Southern win on all up in the air if you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to come to tally. You're going to have to beat us, and I don't think that's going to happen. So, we'll see.
What about Drew as our resident Knoll guy?
Yeah.
Your take on what seemed to be the ill-advised black unis?
I
would. They look better in person. They didn't look good on TV.
They looked all right. I like the regular ones better.
They did put out a Garnet and Gold hype video for this week. They're
think,
bringing back the classics for Samford.
I think if I had my way, I'd flip-flopped it. Not only would I have flip-flopped the uniforms, like wear black against Samford. Who cares?
Right, who cares?
But nationally televised, Monday night, you're the only game on TV Labor Day. Wear your colors.
Wear your brand.
You call for the blackout. Now, granted, I mean, it was... kickoff there was, I've been to a lot of Florida State games. It was loud. It was really a good environment and everything. But again, I would have loved to have won. I would have loved to have played Samford week 1 and Vautech week 2. And I would have liked to flip-flop the uniforms and wear black against Samford and wear the traditional against Vautech because, that's what you do in big games. You don't go wear the gimmick. And now, look, the people who are like, oh my gosh, the black uniforms are horrible. You're an idiot. Uniforms do not dictate whether or not we win or lose the football game. We just got smoked. It is what it is. You can't, nothing really else to say.
As for the pro side of things, the league kicks off tomorrow, season opener, and then the Jags, of course, Sunday. The official depth chart is out for the Giants game. No major surprises, I don't think.
Sure.
I guess that you could raise an eyebrow depending on how you felt about the receivers. But again, like we said, these receivers, it's 5 guys. You put them in a bag, shake them up, and see what you got.
Yep.
The first teamers for this go-around is going to be Moncrief and Cole. I don't think anybody's overwhelmingly surprised that those are the 2 guys.
No.
But that's the 2 guys listed as your first teamers. And like we expected, Leon Jacobs is your starter. At outside linebacker, the 7th round rookie.
Good for him, man. That's awesome.
Gets
what about that statistic? Did you see that statistic yesterday that 31.7% of the league is made up of undrafted free agents, and the rest it's like first rounders are 14 or like 10 or something. The rest are basically like 14 down. Undrafted free agents, 31% of the league. And then the rest is like second, third, and fourth rounders are the next big chunks. It's nuts. It was a weird thing to see. But again, like I tweeted after the Florida State game, though, thank God the Jags are at least going to win the Super Bowl.
We've got it for us.
So at least we got that going.
Well, look, it's that time of year now, the next couple of days, where all the the professional prognosticators start putting out their projections.
Sure.
Most have the Jaguars, as a worst case a playoff team, winning the AFC South and contending for that AFC title.
If you're the Jags, just get into the postseason because that defense can win you games. Just get in there. It doesn't matter how. I think the Jags are going to be a 10-6, 9-7 type team. I'm not the guy. I don't think we're going 14-2 like a lot. Our schedule's tough. We're going to lose some games. I like Blake Bortles. He's still Blake Bortles. There's going to come a time where, we really need him to carry us or something.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know.
so.
I don't know if that's going to happen. But again, you're going to get into the playoffs in the AFC South probably with a 10-6 record. I think you'll be okay. You'll win the division. And then all you got to do really is, just win a home playoff game and then go to Pittsburgh and New England again. No big deal.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. No sweat. It just depends on who that wild card opponent is. It won't be the Bills again.
No.
Somebody
Nathan Peterman. I watched a Nathan Peterman hype video last night.
Was it like 38 seconds?
Yeah, I mean,
it was all the Nathan Peterman.
You released
no offense to the local product.
Sorry, Nathan.
It's tough. It's a tough. You're in a bad position.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yikes.
So we're ready, man. Jags open as a 3-point favorite on the road against the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's probably not enough points.
This is a huge game, man. I mean, you gotta have it.
I'm feeling a rout. I feel a rout.
I feel a rout. Okay.
I feel a statement game. I feel a just like mad, salty, just glorious ass beating in New York.
That would be fantastic.
Just like hey NFL, don't forget, we're still here and we're still pissed.
Because I mean, honest to God, worst case scenario, you go up there, you lose, you're 0-1, and you come back home, you got to play the Patriots. I mean, that's bad.
They don't want that. They don't want to come back 0-1 with the Patriots because the Patriots is a very losable game. You should want to start 0-2.
I think the Jags can beat the Patriots. I think I would pick the Jags to win that game.
It's a winnable game, but it's a very losable game.
Exactly. So, I mean, then you're looking 0-2 straight in the face, and I think you got the Jets, and then even the Texans or the Titans. I mean, it's a tough little start there for the Jags.
It's not the easiest start in the world. That's why you don't want to start 0-1.
No.
You don't want to start off.
It can't be like last year where you wait till the second half of the season to kick things. You got to go now.
We need a fast start.
Yeah.
We need a fast start, especially because they've got that chunk late in the season with all those road games, and it's like you don't want to be staring at that absolutely needing W's.
By the way, shout out to that article that I read the other day of what would you do if the Jags traded Jalen Ramsey or something like that.
That article, it was, excuse me, was that was Big Cat Country.
It was.
I love those guys.
Love
that
them.
Article, I don't know what their intent was with that. All it did was just make me angry. I was angry to even have to think about that scenario.
That was like a midsummer article.
That was
like nothing's going on. I mean,
that was like
season.
That was like a panic article. Like, wait, what do you know?
Yeah, Big Cat Country. You guys are awesome. What's going on?
What are you doing? Stop making us panic.
You guys are freaking me out, man.
I don't want a Khalil Mack.
I guess it was just because of the Khalil Mack.
That's all.
I did get into a little Twitter thing with a guy who basically I said I thought the Khalil Mack trade was stupid as. I agree. Yeah, I mean, very dumb.
Dumb as dirt.
And one kid basically went on to say that he thought it was a good trade. And I said, well, let me put this into perspective.
It was a good trade for the Bears.
Yeah, he said for the Raiders. I said, let me put this into perspective for you since you're not a Raiders fan. What if the Jags traded Jalen Ramsey for 2 first-round picks and also had to give up a second-round pick? You would be furious. And Khalil Mack is as good as Jalen Ramsey is.
As impactful at his position.
Yeah, I mean,
as
it's not a good deal.
And if that deal came down, Jaguar fans would riot in the streets.
It is not a good deal.
It's not a good deal.
It's
a bad deal.
Yeah. So.
Okay? It's a bad deal. Somebody pointed out the last time a player got traded for 2 first-round picks, it was the Saints and Marcus Davenport.
Oh!
2 first-round picks. How'd that work out?
Good.
The Raiders got robbed. The Raiders got housed on this deal, and it's because we pointed this out. It's it's all speculation, but I'm inclined to believe it. This team is cash poor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they're an NFL team. Yes, Mark Davis. The family has money. He is not a cash.
They obviously just didn't have the money to pay him.
He did not have the guaranteed money to give Khalil Mack the type of deal that Chicago was set to get him. So they took the compensation they could get, which is 2 first-round picks. But they also gave up a second.
Give up that second.
So
man.
The Bears are getting Khalil Mack at a top 60 pick, and the Raiders ain't no good. So it's probably like a top 45 pick in this draft.
Yeah.
For Khalil, they got Khalil Mack at like a top 45 pick, and they gave up 2 firsts.
Yeah.
It's
nuts.
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 Nuts. The Bears, big winner for the Bears.
Yeah.
They paid Mack. Mack. I'm not a Bears fan, but I'm from Chicago, as everybody knows. So I stay up on Chicago sports, and it's a sea change type acquisition for that team right now.
And all of a sudden, you
read
look
the
at
Chicago media and you follow Chicago fans.
Yeah.
It's a rebirth for the Bears people. They have been in such a funk for so many years of this Jay Cutler, John Fox garbage situation they've had that suddenly this Khalil Mack, along with these other guys that they've got on defense.
Yeah, I was saying, you look at that defense all
Leonard
of a sudden.
Floyd and
Danny Trevathan.
Yeah, and then they just drafted Roquan Smith.
And they got Bullard too.
Right. I mean, suddenly they're like, oh, the monsters of the Midway are back. It's a rebirth, and if Trubisky is any good, just middle of the road good, the Bears feel like they're on the.
I'm also, by the way, for the record,
turnaround.
I'm not a Trubisky believer.
I'm not either. But I mean, if that defense is as good as they feel like it's shaping up to be, all Trubisky has to be is Blake.
They got weapons on offense, so
that's all Trubisky has to be is Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
If that defense is as good as they think it's going to be,
yeah.
It probably won't be this year. The NFC's too good, and the Bears are still missing a lot of pieces on offense. They're not there.
Mm-hmm.
But winner, all-day winner Bears on that trade for me. All day long winner Bears. It was a tremendous move for the Chicago Bears, and it's just a boneheaded, dumbass move by the Oakland Raiders, compounding all their other bonehead, dumbass moves they made in the last couple of years. They're a stupid-ass team run by stupid-ass people making stupid-ass decisions.
Yep.
They gave up a third-rounder for essentially a bag of weed. They gave John Gruden, who hasn't done a damn thing other than win a Super Bowl in Tampa with a team he didn't put together. Everything else he's done is not that great. Yes, he got a good run with the Oakland Raiders before he left. That was 18 years ago, guys.
Yeah, it's quite some
time. A long time ago.
Quite some time.
He's been in a booth for 10 years, stroking cash. And he's trying to build 1970s football. It don't work anymore, John. That's not 2018 NFL football. It's not going to work. The John Gruden experiment in Oakland and in Vegas when they move is not going to work. It's going to be a disaster. And I'm going to be here to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy watching it burn and watch Vegas be poorly attended outside of transients and tourists. Because they're not going to be able to establish much of a local fan base because their team is going to suck out loud. But at least they got Derek Carr for $125 million.
Sure.
On that note, we'll binge you a found to do because we got the boat.
Yeah.
And we didn't pay the boat $125 million,
That's right.
guys. Put that in your pipe.
Thank God.
And smoke it. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of After Drill. Love you, Googans.